Hey guys, hope you are all having an amazing printing day so far. I wanted to make this early video because the CPI report came out and it was absolutely disastrous. Inflation was higher than expected, coming in at 7.5%. Prices for everything blew up and inflation continues to roam free. Upon the news coming out, the market started dipping. Cryptocurrencies started falling big time, nosediving. I was in my Discord watching it all unfold, and I thought we were headed towards the next huge dip. Stock market followed, with GME and AMC starting to test support just like I predicted yesterday. The pre-market was disastrous this morning, and everyone in the trading community was making money. You see, tons of folk bought puts yesterday, shorting major indexes and movers. I saw posts with gains as high as $50,000 pre-market with that dip, and everyone expected stocks to plummet upon market opening. After all, the report came back very negative, which we will talk about in a moment, and market sentiment was bearish. Well, it appears that the only reason that makes any sense of what is happening is that Wall Street saw all the bearish sentiment, saw retail taking out puts and selling early in anticipation of today, and decided to pump the markets upon market opening. Stocks rallied behind SPY, and things just blew up. Thank tendies I started buying pre-market, because I did not want to risk missing out on that dip. I bought some Bitcoin and GME, and sweet lord did the market have a run. GameStop ran to 130 so far as a high for the day while AMC ran past 20. All those thousands of gains that were made shorting the market, they were snapped out of existence like Thanos snapping his fingers. We were completely right yesterday, our predicaments happened just as expected, but what nobody anticipated was the markets rallying so quick. I think this is the result of Wall Street pricing in inflation, which I talked about yesterday. They wanted to trap all the thousands of retail traders taking puts, and now they are all going to lose all their gains. So far, it has honestly been quite magnificent watching the way things are unfolding. Wall Street Bets is going to have the best lost posts today. Funny enough, I was scrolling through that subreddit yesterday, and saw a couple of posts saying that big money was planning on retail buying options to trap them, so many people were anticipating the markets to get bullish. Big money will always have their fill, and retail traders are never going to have ample fair ground to invest. So, let's go over what was in the report, because there is a lot to be disgusted and angered about. The Consumer Price Index registered 7.5% annual gain for the month of January, with the consensus being that it was only going to reach 7.3% yesterday. I knew that it was going to be higher than expected, and we were right. One thing that we must note is that inflation is actually a lot higher than 7.5% right now, in the double figures, but the government makes sure to use the best method that makes them look best. This sudden rise represents the fastest inflation has risen since 1982, as well as an acceleration from the 7% year-over-year increase that we saw for the month of December last year. On a month-over-month basis, consumer price increased by 0.6%. Also, as I talked about, the report showed that energy prices were the key contributor to the overall CPI, being up a massive 27% year-over-year. Within energy, fuel oil prices jumped 9.5% on a monthly basis and electricity prices jumped a pronounced 4.2% on a month-over-month basis. I know the markets right now appear as if the report was bullish, but these figures are scandalous to say the least. The core of the CPI, food, rose in prices as well by 1% during the month of January, while food away from home prices rose 0.7%. Excluding more volatile food and energy prices, the core CPI rose by 6% in January over last year, marking the biggest jump since 1982. Shelter prices climbed another 0.3% in January, led by an increase in rent prices of 0.5%, driving more concern around affordability for people to live under a roof. The good news in the report is that it appears that not only is the pace of price growth slowing down, but it appears that 2021 already had the worst number, so it may appease some experts to see that prices are beginning to cool off. I want to saw something before wrapping up. The markets are very irrational, and when you trade options or other assets in anticipation of big moves, you need to make sure to sell at profit. Prices were down bad just as predicted during the pre-market. There was no way that it wasn't going to happen with such bad news. However, that does not necessarily mean that the markets will remain bearish the whole day. As we saw, in order to take advantage of prices, you have to quickly take opportunity. Remember at all times who is sitting at the Fed, Jerome the Joke Powell. That man has one mandate and one mandate alone: don't let the stock market crash. He will move heaven and earth to carry his duties. I bought a crap ton of stocks, from Amazon to SPY and Sophie, some Bitcoin and of course, some GameStop. The run-up has been glorious from that slump in the pre-market, and I have collected profits on those runs and reinvested on my favorite stocks long-term. If you are trading options, always collect profits. Do not underestimate the markets, nothing has changed, stay focused on Zen. The price isn't real and always buy the dip. The Discord is growing and we are just above 3,000 members. Come on over and check it out. I hope to see you all tomorrow in the recap video. If you want to support this channel, links are below for PayPal and Cash App for one-time donations, and my Patreon is there if you really want to spoil me. Enjoy the rest of your day and to the moon.